Hi guys, this is Steve Oltman, and I'm going to go over my community with you a little bit. My community is the Haverhill Day School and Academy, and to start with, it's a little harder to talk about our day school and academy without being really general. So as I explain this next slide here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. The Haverhill Day School and Academy serves 9 different school districts within Butler County, and all the kids that come to school here are students who have social emotional disorders or have some sort of autism. So the academy side is all the autistic kids, and the other side is for kids with social emotional disorders. And so we're kind of a mixed melting pot of um, a community anyway. So a lot of stuff I'm going to talk about might be real vague about the county of Butler, but the rest of it might be real specific about my school. So I'm going to try to split that up on some slides as we go along here a little bit. The demographics of our county, Holly Frontier is a huge industry in El Dorado, Kansas, which is in the middle of Butler County. There's a correctional facility here in town in El Dorado as well. It hosts Butler County Community College, which is a JUCO college. It's the eighth largest county in Kansas. In the last 5 decades, the population has kept increasing. The demographics of the whole county is 93.5% of them are white population. 34.1% live with families or have kids in the household under the age of 18. 58.8% of those families are married households, and 87.4% is under the age of 65, which means the county is just going to continue to grow and develop as it goes along a little bit more. So some demographics from the day school. We have 29 students that attend school here. Only 3 female students. 21 of them come from non-traditional homes, are either from being raised by a single parent or no parents, as in like a grandparent or someone is helping raise them, or they're in foster care. And a lot of times with the foster care students, we find that they're pretty nomadic because of their high needs. The kids only end up being at the school for a short amount of time, maybe 6, 7 months, and then they move on. They're not here very long. So it makes it really hard to find a good community culture within our school. So some ways we communicate within our community and at the school. The school communication is a lot of phone calls, emails, text messages, letters home if that's needed. We also have a one-call system that I use since I'm the lead teacher here, that if I need to get something out to everybody, I can shoot something out that way. Within our community, we're pretty much a Wichita metro area, so a lot of local TV stations come from there. Their social media, the countywide newspaper runs a social media account as well. The community college has their own local radio station that's ran by the students at the college, so a lot of different things in that regard. Community groups, we have South Central Mental Health that comes in here at the school and helps a lot with stuff. We have a school resource officer. There are a lot of things that I'd like to continue to improve on adding within our school community, but we're just not quite there yet. So in our communities, there's local booster clubs for every 9 of the school districts in the county. Partners in Education is a huge organization in the El Dorado school districts that helps provide a lot of support to teachers in any kind of need that they have, if it's a financial or different things like that. Cantrell grants are another thing that is used for El Dorado students that I know of. So there's a lot of different things like that within communities, different school districts around our community as well. So leadership, we have a board of education. Each 9 districts have a representative on their school board. So they're the ones that kind of help us make our decisions and decide what kind of direction we should continue to service kids here at our day school. And then I also have assistant directors who help facilitate a lot of needs throughout all 9 school districts as well. They each have 1 or 2 districts, and they're just they're the liaison for me for those different locations and stuff. But a lot of times the local school boards, like I said, each one of those 9 school boards has someone on our school board as well. And then they have their home schools, and we call them home schools because that's the school that they would be attending if they were in their residence based off their address and where their district lines lie, or whatever the case is in those regards. So it's kind of a unique situation, again, like I've been trying to say. So some community efforts, things we've done in the past. So we've had to adopt a flower bed up at the El Dorado Lake, and we would go and clean it out and make sure it was growing good flowers and de-weed it and stuff, and water flowers there, just to kind of have a way that people in the community can see that our kids are involved in doing things like that. In the past, we've also ran a bakery out of our school because we moved into a school that had a pretty good kitchen, so we were using it as well. And then in the past, when I was teaching here, We raised goats because our school is in the middle of the county, and almost in a very rural country type setting, and like an old country schoolhouse is kind of what it is. In the communities, lots of communities have passed new school bonds, so they've had really great additions to their schools and how state of the art type schools and learning environments for kids in Butler County. Free admission to the school to the pools. I know El Dorado runs a free kids day at the pool. Kids free lunch programs or summer wide programs that they do. A great organization that does that around here for Butler County's kids need to eat. They do great stuff. Economic conditions. A lot of the community ones are all based off of oil business, aviation, or farming and ranching. So as those kind of things have all changed and evolved, so has a lot of the economics within the county of Butler. At our day school here, we have some very low SES levels. A lot of families have single or family or no income. A lot of the kids come from, like I said, those foster home settings, and so a lot of them are the kids are helping produce some of that. That's what that SIS money is like Social Security money that they get um, to have to raise kids with special needs to kind of help cover some of those extra costs of having some special need kids as well. So um, power and political structure here at a day school. Like I said, I'm new this year as a lead teacher, working on my administration admin degree here with you guys. And so they've had a new leader the last 5 years, a new principal, a new somebody in charge the last 5 years. So a lot of staff turnover because of that. So a lot of that power and political structures revamping and rechanging often around here at our school, which is part of what I'm trying to help stabilize. But in our communities, they have a lot of the communities have city councils and chambers of commerce. And chambers of commerce are huge things that kind of help push small local businesses, um, which is all very helpful for a lot of that how the community drives and goes. Social tension stuff, like I said, we had a lot of staff turnover. So some of the old staff versus the new staff, or students versus students, because they're all students that have emotional disorders and they struggle in those situations of what's the proper way to talk to other people and what you're supposed to say to other students as well. In some of the communities, because the junior college is here, we have a lot of nomadic kids coming in, college age kids coming in and out of some of the communities, especially like in Andover and El Dorado areas. And there's a lack of diversity countywide almost. And a lot of times that those college students are the most diverse students here as well. So some of those social tensions that come along with coming into rural Kansas from larger metropolitan areas, or even some students come from around the world. A lot of the track kids at Butler come from other countries as well. So it's kind of a mixed bag. So it's a lot of differences in those regards. So public opinion about our Haverhill Day School is that a lot of kids are here are bad students and bad kids, and they'll never fit in. We don't really push academics as hard, and then once students come, they should never leave. And all three of those things are not very true or valid. Lots of time the kids here are just kids that made bad choices or got frustrated and didn't know what to do next. Academics, yeah, they come second because we're really trying to focus on behaviors and emotional and social emotional health. So they're able to get back to a school where they have more opportunity to do some of that. But we don't lack the academics. It's just not always in the same regard or same form as what's typical in a school setting, so it's a little different. And I'm trying very, very hard to get kids to be a little more transient, so they go back to their home schools so they can get those better education and have better peer role models. Because here, every kid's got the same kind of exceptionality or disability, so it's hard to push those things when your peer models are not as good for you. So in the community, some of the public opinions are is that there's better schools, better academics, and only for the good kids. And again, some of those public opinions just seem kind of off, and that's why they're public opinions rather than actual facts. So, some special events at the day school, we do different things. Like we had a drive-through dinner for our parent-teacher conference this year because of COVID. It was hard to get people back together and see everybody in person. Um, we normally host a back to school barbecue, so we'll grill hot dogs and hamburgers, have a big kind of little party, and drop off all your school supplies and stuff. In the community, they do things like Frontier Days, which the Holly Frontier, the refinery in El Dorado, puts on as like a community involvement thing for them. the Dam Music Festival out at Delrado Lake has been going on for a couple of years. And this last week, I know of 3 or 4 different schools within the county who had homecomings. Um, and then during the summer, there's also the 4-H and FFA fairs and things like that. So they have a lot of special events without communities in our area. So wrapping it up, here's my reflections and correlations to the assignment, and my references are listed here. So hopefully you guys got a little sneak peek of something different that happens here in my county. Because of the situation I'm in, I'm not really in a home school. I'm not teaching a district. I just kind of help service kids from all 9 school districts in our county. So our community is a little more blended. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and thanks.